Mount Monadnock kisses the sky at more than 3,000 feet. Its peak pokes above the horizon, and the view from the top, breathtaking. Monadnock is said to be one of the world's most hiked mountains, steep and rugged, about 2 miles to the top. Larson Ojala of Ringe just broke the record for the most summits in 24 hours. 17 laps, 60 miles round trip, 29,870 feet, the equivalent of Mount Everest.
Just collapsed on the trail and looked up at the trees and just soaked it all in. That was my high of the day.
Not long ago, Larson's high came from drugs and alcohol, addicted since he was 13 years old.
I started drinking, and then it led to prescription drugs that I would buy on the streets. And at 16, I was doing the harder stuff, and it just progressed from there into basically it was an everyday addiction, and addicted to pills and eventually heroin and cocaine and all that.
He used for 8 years. Drugs seized his life.
I was very reckless. I'm surprised I'm still alive, honestly.
After losing several friends to drug abuse, Larson decided he wouldn't become a statistic. At 21, he entered rehab. Then he discovered extreme sports, first skydiving, and eventually trail running, a healthy rush.
I can't even really put my mind to think how low I was when I was in, treatment, and how high I am now to be able to come out and do this.
Larson was inspired to break the Mount Monadnock record by family friend and previous record holder Fran Raudiola. Fran set the record in 2002 with 14 summits. It was broken in 2006 by Gary Harrington, who achieved 16 laps. The record stood for 15 years.
Gary said he didn't think anyone was crazy enough to try it. So maybe I'm a little psycho, or it might have something to do with my past.
The 27-year-old trained under extreme conditions, carrying an 80-pound panel up the mountain, or sometimes one of his 2 kids on his back, and in the winter, climbing when Monadnock was a sheet of ice.
It made me appreciate the good conditions, I mean, I would get home at night and my toes would be bloody from micro spikes wearing through my shoes and the pressure, and all my toes now are actually scarred from the pressure of the spikes through my shoes.
Larson set a goal of 18 laps, 2 more than the record. He hit the trail with training partner Lyle Raudiola, who was making a run for his father's record. Weather conditions that April morning hovered around the freezing mark.
I wasn't so nervous about myself. I was more nervous that Lyle was gonna fall short because of the weather on his goals, but I was pretty much ready to get it done.
2 miles up, 2 miles down, navigating roots and rocks, and then repeat.
When Larson was on his 4th, I was just, a shade behind him, and I could see he wasn't feeling that, and I was kind of hoping he would call it off, because I would be like, oh, it's an easy exit, 4 and out. Nobody would know you're trying for a record.
But Larson knew, and he wouldn't give up. Then, on lap 10, he got sick to his stomach. Each time down the mountain, he threw up.
I felt very weak. At one point, I didn't think I was going to keep going. I sat on a log, and, I was contemplating just giving up on breaking the record and just settling for 16 and the 24-hour period.
Friends and family close by encouraging him, and somehow Larson found the will to push on.
I knew he had it in him, because I've never seen anybody as mentally tough as him, to battle it out like that.
Lyle bowed out after lap 11. Larson forged ahead, fighting off nausea, pain, and darkness.
You're tired, you start hallucinating. I was seeing all sorts of little figures in the woods that night, you know. So yeah, that's definitely part of the long run, is the hallucinating at the end.
He was oh so close, reaching the summit for the 17th time. If he made it down in 27 minutes, he'd beat the record. His wife at the top cheering him on.
Woo! You got it.
You got it, man.
Larson dug deep, the finish line in sight.
He's got it. Oh, he's got it.
And with 7 minutes to spare, Larson broke the record.
I felt really good, but I was smoked, you know, and it was a good feeling. I was pretty well relieved, you know, to be done.
As weak as he was, just stopped, rest, and I'm just like, there's nobody tougher, you know. So it's just remarkable what he did.
Larson conquered the mountain twice, beating his addiction and now breaking Monadnock's record. Yet he has unfinished business.
That goal of mine that I didn't achieve was just not sitting well with me. So I would like to try and break, you know, my record of 17. Do what I can do with 18 summits, or maybe 19, or who knows where. You know, I think sky's the limit.